Welcome to Fanatics Live, where we virtually connect you with your favorite stars and athletes right at home. Tonight, we will be meeting with fans, signing autographs, and engaging in live Q&A. Now, let's welcome our host.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fanatics Live, where we are all about bringing your favorite athletes to you right at home. If you're watching along, show some love in the comments section and let us know where you're watching from for a chance to be featured on the show tonight. I'm Jessica Blaylock, and I am so excited to introduce you to our special guest. But before we get started, I wanted to let you know that our show is brought to you by the Fan Cash Rewards Card by Fanatics. As a Fan Cash Rewards card holder, you receive benefits and perks, including access to unforgettable experiences with athletes, earn 6% fan cash on every purchase, exclusive deals, offers, and so much more. Time now to introduce you to our special guest tonight. We're going to be kicking it with the Ravens' own Justin Tucker. I'm sorry, I had to. He's not only regarded as one of the best kickers of all time, also, though, as one of the most accurate kickers of all time. He's been with the Ravens since 2012, having spent his entire professional career in Baltimore, which is awesome. He's already won a Super Bowl. He's been to the Pro Bowl 4 times, and earlier this season, he set the record for the longest field goal made in NFL history at 66 yards. Without further ado, let's welcome in Justin Tucker.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I hope you appreciated my kicking it with Justin Tucker. Maybe got a little bit of a chuckle out of that. I don't know. Maybe it was really corny. We've got so many fans who are super excited.
That's right up my alley. As far as humor goes, that's
okay. Good.
That's good old-fashioned dad humor for me. So
perfect. Then we're already off to a great start. We have so many fans that are super excited about getting to chat with you for a few minutes. We're going to have a really good time with that. But I have a few questions of my own to get things started. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's jump right in. Like I mentioned before, you've spent your entire professional career so far in Baltimore. You love playing for the Ravens. I know you've poured a lot of yourself into the city. How would you describe that relationship that you have built with the fan base, the city, and the organization?
Yeah, from the moment I got here, it was I felt welcomed with open arms. This city is full of amazing people that love their birds. They love watching the O's. They love watching the Ravens. They love cheering us on. The city's not known as Charm City for no reason. Everybody does have that, that charming vibe about them. Just walking down the street, you get just like a great sense. There's just it's an excellent vibe in this city. So I'm so happy to have got the opportunity to play here for 10 years already, and I'm looking forward to many more.
And you think about everything that you've accomplished so far in your career. If you go back to where it all started, is it almost a little surreal thinking about the fact that we're sitting here talking about how you're one of the most accurate kickers in the NFL? And oh, by the way, now you hold the record for the longest field goal made at 66 yards.
It is a little crazy to think about it like that. While we're in the middle of a season, reflecting upon those accomplishments, I suppose there's a time and a place for that, and it's not in the middle of a football season, as far as I'm concerned. I love getting the opportunity to perform at a high level and to have the support of our coaches and my and all the teammates that I've been blessed to play with over the years. That's what I really think about. That's what I know I'm going to reflect upon more than anything when I'm done is all the relationships I've been able to cultivate with amazing people over the years. All of the wins, even some of the tough times as well. Going through all of that with the amazing people that I've been lucky enough to be around. That's what I'll really be able to reflect upon, and look back fondly, on my time here in Baltimore. The accomplishments are also really fun, but the biggest ones would absolutely be the ones that we accomplish as a team, and that's obviously winning a Super Bowl is why we play the game. To have the opportunity to become recognized as a champion with your teammates and with your coaches. Your organization is, the ultimate reason why you play the game. At the same time, I'm just so fired up to call Baltimore home and to have been able to call Baltimore my home for the last decade.
Well, and fans certainly love you back. Now, we were joking a little bit before the start of the show. You're a little bit of a renaissance man in the sense that you're not just good at one thing. You're good at multiple things. Obviously, a professional football player. You also have a phenomenal singing voice and a really cool background in music, and dabbled maybe in real estate a little bit. Would dabble be a good way to put it? But what inspires you to, really be great at everything you focus on?
Sure. Well, I don't know if I'm necessarily great at any one thing. I'm not about to quit my day job, that's for sure. The whole kicking footballs through yellow poles thing has been going pretty well for me for a while, and I think I'm going to keep doing that as long as I can till the bitter end. I think more than anything, it's the off the field interests. Music. You mentioned that I dabbled in real estate. It feels like a lifetime ago. Where I'm so glad you brought that up, because I get asked about the singing in a classical style thing frequently. But not a lot of people necessarily know that I dabbled in residential real estate sales while I was in college to, kind of just line my pockets just a little bit, give myself a chance to go to Hula Hut and not worry too much about splitting the chicken pipeline enchilada and a Dr. Pepper with my girlfriend and now wife, Amanda. So the whole selling real estate thing, it kind of came about. A handful of guys on the football team were like, hey, we're getting our real estate licenses so we can kind of go to the rest of the folks in the athletic department and kind of help our friends find a place to live for the fall or the spring or whatever it may be. And in turn, you get a little commission for it. When you bring your friends to this apartment building, they give you X commission or whatever it may be. So at the time, I kind of likened it to the Mary Kay situation with the pink Cadillacs, and I was just trying to get my pink Cadillac, but I ended up getting enchiladas. So it ended up being a great deal, and I learned a lot in the process about sales and in the markets, and I haven't got to really use much of that over the last 10 years. Professionally, but hey, you never know. That door may open itself back up at some point in time.
I just also appreciate that now whenever I watch you out on the field, I'm going to visualize that you pulled up in a pink Cadillac, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Well, we have so many fans who are so excited about the opportunity to ask you some questions as well. We're going to get ready to welcome them in. But first, we want to show everybody what they're going to be taking home tonight. It is an autographed photo. It's a photo that's super unique of you nailing that 66-yard field goal. This is what they're going to be taking home. And I know it's going to be cool to have personalized signatures on that as well. So our first guest that we're going to welcome in, she is a Fan Cash Rewards card holder. It is Brenda from Maryland. She loves your dedication to your craft, your family, and the fans. You inspire so many. And she says that her favorite Ravens tradition is the Pledge of Allegiance and overall support of military veterans, which is incredible. Let's welcome in Brenda.
Hey, Brenda, thanks for joining
Justin.
us. And thank you for the support and the kind words. It really means a lot. I appreciate you.
Sure. Yeah. I know you mentioned, I would have to say, instead of a pink Cadillac, can you change that to a purple Cadillac?
Why not both? Let's just make it all happen.
Let's stop with one color. Right. But I know you've been playing for a few years, and we're so glad and proud to have you as part of our Ravens team. And we're hoping you're there for many, many more years. But realistically, we know the life of a NFL football player can be shortened at times, due to injuries. Hopefully people will continue to protect you on the field so you can continue to do what you do best for us. But where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or even let's push it out even a little bit more.
I certainly hope I'm still playing, and I certainly hope I'm
right.
still playing for the Baltimore Ravens. I can't speak highly enough about the organization from the top down. I always feel supported, and I feel like I can very confidently say on behalf of all the players, I feel like we are just given the tools to succeed. Whether it's our excellent facilities, like our training staff, our coaches, just the people that make up the Ravens, not just the X's and O's and the football side of it, but the people and the relationships that I get to enjoy on a daily basis make coming to work a really enjoyable experience. So, hopefully I get to continue doing what I'm doing for and continue doing it at a high level, because our standards are high, and our fans hold us to it, and they absolutely should. I hope I'm still playing for the Ravens 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But it's about taking it one kick at a time, and as long as I keep making them, I think I'm going to give myself a decent chance to stick around.
Oh, most definitely, I'm sure. So what are you looking forward to for the holidays? I know you guys will have a little bit of break, but not much before the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of taking it one kick at a time, just to get to the playoffs, I got to take it one kick at a time. We got to take it one game at a time. But I think we're going to give ourselves a really good chance to make it to the dance and make some waves, do some big things. Ultimately go and hoist that Lombardi when it's all said and done. That's the goal, right? So, yeah, what I'm looking forward to most this holiday season, football aside, is my son is 5, and he's at that he's at that great point where he's the last couple of Christmases he's really started to enjoy all the kind of fun stuff, like the hot chocolate and the lights on the house, the Christmas tree, just shredding the wrapping paper on the presents and all of that fun stuff. Getting a chance to spend a little time wherever we can find it in the middle of our season with family. That's what I'm looking forward to.
It's one of the best things about the holidays, getting to spend some time with family. And Justin, I know you're going to autograph that picture for Brenda. Brenda, what do you plan on doing with that picture?
Well, after I show it off to all of my jealous friends, I'll probably hang it someplace prominently in the house for sure.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I've already bought the T-shirt, holy time. I've already got that. Yeah.
Perfect.
I just got that one in the mail. Somehow it took, for whatever reason, it took a little while for me to get them. But man, they're the softest T-shirts. I actually wore mine last night. It got a little chilly in the house, so I was wearing mine last night to sleep, and it's the most delicious fabric. I love it.
Well, Brenda, thank you so much for your questions. We hope you enjoyed your time with Justin.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda. Take care.
Next up, we have got Dennis from Fort Lauderdale. He said it was so easy to become a fan of yours because you actually remind him of his favorite kicker, Adam Vinatieri. And he says he loved the days when Ray Lewis would come out onto the field and hype up the fans. Let's welcome in Dennis.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
Dennis, I'm good, man. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing great. So I'll be obviously by the introduction to me, that I'm a Patriots fan, but I'm a football fan first and foremost. So
we won't hold it against you.
No, I know. No, listen. In that 2012 AFC Championship game when you guys went on to the Super Bowl, actually it was January 2013, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that cold day at Gillette Stadium, I think it was. So yeah.
When is it not a cold day at Gillette Stadium, man? That place is.
Well, I went a couple of weeks ago.
That's a fun place to play, but every time I've been there, it's been freezing cold.
Yeah, Tom Brady's return was a good night. It was a drizzly, rainy night, but he kept everybody up and going. But yeah, I felt bad Friday. I flew north because I'm in Fort Lauderdale. But I flew north on Southwest, and it stopped in Baltimore, and I saw all those sad fans going back to Baltimore on the plane. I felt so bad for the fans heading home. So I feel bad for you because I never expected that Thursday night. So.
Hey man, you win some.
It is what it is.
Hopefully, you win a lot more than you lose.
Yeah, you win more than you lose. Hey, exactly. So
we've been doing that for a while. We'll get back on track.
That's right. Absolutely. And you got a great team, and Lamar will be he'll get you guys back going. So my question to you is, like you referred to, is I'm a fan of Adams, but you remind me very much of his style. And I always wanted to I had the opportunity to ask Adam the same question back in the day. I got friendly with him because I used to be in the swimming pool business, and he had a hot tub, so he used to always come see me for his supplies.
Nice.
So I used to sit and have some conversations, and I said to him one day, I said, "How do you do? You're sitting on the sidelines for a while, and you're watching the game, and you're keeping yourself, and then all of a sudden you get called in, split second. You got to go in and make a crucial." Either a field goal or that game-winning kick or something from in adverse conditions. And how do you shut the crowd out? How do you focus and how do you put everything aside? In the days of the icing the kicker, I don't think that even it works anymore. Just give me your thoughts on some of that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think it's really cool that you mentioned Adam and that you're a fan of his, because he's been one of my idols as long as I can remember. As soon as I started kicking footballs and trying to take it seriously, he was the guy as far as I was concerned. And I think he still is. Yeah, like when you're in the kind of the ebbs and flows of a football game. Did we lose Dennis, or is we still good?
I think we're still good with Dennis, and he's at least able to listen in. Yep. Okay,
so yeah, like when you're going through the course of a game, the biggest challenge for me, the two biggest challenges are staying loose and staying warm, and then kind of not getting too caught up in the emotions of the football game. There's so much that can happen that's out of your control. So wasting any energy getting too hyped or too down if something either good or bad happens on the field, not letting yourself get overly affected by those things, I think is really important. It's certainly served us well as far as taking it onto the field and just making kicks goes, but staying ready throughout the course of the game, just means being active on the sideline, kicking balls into the net, whatever it may be. Everybody has something different that they do, but my formula, if you will, my routine is that when the defense is out on the field, that's when I take a seat on the bench. I hang out for that period of time, and then when the offense is out on the field, I hop up, put on my helmet, buckle my chin strap, and I'm essentially ready to go, like at any point. And like with our offense, with Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, Mark Andrews, guys that are at any moment ready to make a big play and put the ball in the end zone. You got to be ready to go and just knock through the PAT, right? So when the offense is on the field, I start kicking balls into the net, and when we're looking at the last minute, 2 minutes of a game, where the game is tight, and that at any moment I could be called upon to kick the game-winning field goal or the game-tying field goal, or kind of ice the game down, put us up by 2 possessions, whatever it may be. There's all of the stuff going around in the stadium. If you're on the road, it could be loud. If you're at home, there could just be like some electricity in the air it's almost hard to describe, but all of that stuff could affect you if you let it. And what I do, or at least what I try to do, is I focus on the action of kicking the ball, seeing the ball snap, seeing the ball held, and then seeing it leave my foot, I focus on that as best as I can, and I don't think about the consequence. And I've said that before. It's about focusing on the action and not the consequence. Focusing on your technique that you've worked at mastering for years over tens of thousands of kicks. That's what I try to put at the forefront of my mind. And then when the kick is made, I just have this feeling of exhilaration that it's almost tough to describe, but the feeling of celebrating with your teammates is not possible unless I just focus on the very simple see the ball, kick the ball idea that I just talked about.
Well, I know Dennis will certainly appreciate that answer, and he's going to appreciate that photo that you're going to autograph for him. As you can tell, he's got a ton of passion. He loves football, and now he's going to have a chance to add some Ravens memorabilia next to all that Patriots memorabilia. But yeah, just fascinating to hear your answer to that question and the whole process, because obviously so many of us will never know what it's like to be out there on that field in that moment. So shout out to Dennis. Awesome question, and we hope that he certainly enjoys having that autographed photo to add to his collection. Next, we're going to welcome in Jones from Fort Myers. He says he loves your story from undrafted to the #1 kicker in the league. It really is a true testament of the hard work and dedication that you've put into your craft. And he said the longest field goal that he could make would max out at 30 yards. Well, Jones, if it makes you feel any better, that's 30 yards longer than any field goal I could make. So let's welcome in Jones.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
Jones with the big toe, man, the big foot, got a 30-yarder in you, man. It is respectable. I will say that. So welcome.
Hey, so I'm a big fan of yours. I am actually a Patriots fan as well, but I'm a big fan of yours regardless. Whenever you play against us, great. But anyway, my question to you is, I know you were on the 2009 Big 12 championship roster for Texas.
That's right.
But I did not do enough research, and I found out it was Hunter Lawrence that kicked the field goal. But regardless of the situation, my question was, what was the more out-of-body experience for you? Was it that moment when you guys kicked that game winner for the Big 12 championship? Or was it more of you getting the NFL record against Detroit? Because both awesome moments, I think. So.
Yeah. So going back to that Big 12 game, yeah, you're right. So there, at the time, there were several kickers on the roster, and any one of us could have been playing at that moment in time. I mean, the training camp battle between Hunter Lawrence, Ryan Bailey, and kind of myself. I was still just trying to figure out left from right at that point in time. But any one of us could have been in that position to kick the winner in the Big 12 championship game to send us to the national championship game. But I was punting and kicking off at the time, and that game I remember just being a defensive battle, and every yard mattered so much. The way that game, the way that game was shaping up, from the opening kickoff all the way down to the last play of the game, the walk-off winner that Hunter kicked. To see that from the sideline and know that one day that could be me that definitely went through my mind. Is one day I need to would I be ready right now to go and make that kick? And that was in my sophomore year, and I don't know what the answer to that would be. I would think it would be yes, but I wasn't the guy called upon to kick that ball to send us to the national championship, which in a way I think was maybe that was exactly what I needed to experience that on the sideline, having played in the game. I remember watching that ball split the uprights and storming the field with my teammates and celebrating and loving every minute of it and enjoying that moment. And I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, just like cherishing that. That's a football moment I'm going to be able to cherish for the rest of my life, for sure. But to now to be more responsible for creating those moments for, not just myself, but for, everybody that's involved in moments like that, all of the stuff that goes, that leads into that moment. And then, the guys responsible for the 1.3 seconds between the snap, the hold, the protection, and the kick. Every scheme that gets talked about in the coaches' meetings, leading up to a game that ends in a game-winning field goal. All of those people and all of those things kind of colliding in this perfect storm to, kind of culminate in this one game-winning moment. To now be, responsible in a way for a lot of moments like that is, one of my football life's ultimate blessings. And it's something that I'll never take for granted. So, that's so cool that you brought up that moment. Cause I hadn't thought about that one in a while. So that's really cool.
Yeah. I'm kind of like a nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I had one
great
question.
Great poll.
Yeah, I had one follow-up question though. Did you really think that there was like 1 second left on the clock, or was that kind of like a?
Of course, absolutely. They slow-mode that on the broadcast like 200 times. Like Colt got rid of that ball with plenty of time. It was fine.
Yeah, I had a Nebraska friend. He wanted me to ask that question for you. So.
I know, look at Jones sneaking that one in, making sure he got that one in. That's funny.
I love it.
Well, Justin is going to autograph that picture for you, Jones, and that's going to be really cool. You can even share that with your friend and tell him that you got an answer for him.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Justin.
Thanks, Jones. Appreciate you, man.
Good stuff, Jones. And last but not least, we're going to go to Tanya. She's from Suffolk, Virginia. She has supported you since day one, since the day that you became a Raven. And she says she loves putting on her Lamar Jackson jersey on game day and supporting the team every week. Let's welcome in Tanya.
Hi. Well,
Tanya, what's happening? Thanks for joining us.
I live in Suffolk, but I'm born and raised Baltimore City. So that's why I'm a Ravens fan. I was born there. That's it. So,
love it. Well, hey, thank you.
My question was kind of football related, but I want to know, who are you closest to on the team? Like, who are you calling for a babysitter? If you need last minute sitter, which teammate are you closest to?
Yeah, it would probably be the guys that I work with most closely. It would be Sam Cook, who's our punter and our holder. Scratch that. He's our holder and our punter. I always give him a hard time, and I let him know that his most important job playing for the Ravens is serving as the holder for field goals and extra points, which he doesn't like to hear, but I think he knows deep down that it's true. But all kidding aside, Sam is just like a great dude, family man, and a true professional. Like he's a large part of the reason why I have a lot of the work habits that I do. Like as far as preparing for practice, how to practice, how to prepare for a game. All of those, all of the little detail things that. No one else would ever really know about. Sam has, kind of helped me along ever since I got to Baltimore as a rookie in 2012, and still to this day. And now we're able to hold each other to account when it comes to the football side of things. But yeah, if I needed a babysitter and I needed one of my teammates to do it, it would either be it would be Sam Cook, because he's got plenty of experience. He's got 4 kids of his own. So he certainly knows what he's doing as far as taking care of kids goes. It would either be Sam or Ronnie Stanley, because like Ronnie's just like incredibly fun to be around, and I think if anybody's a kid at heart, it would be Ronnie Stanley, and I know Easton, my son, would love having a catch and a tackle in the backyard with Uncle Ronnie.
That's the best way to stay, right? Always a kid at heart. That's the way it should always be. Great stuff, Tanya. And now you're going to also get an autograph picture from Justin. So not only will you represent the Ravens in Virginia with your jersey, you can now represent the Ravens with that autograph photo of that field goal. Thanks so much, Tanya.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tanya.
All fantastic questions. And we're not done yet because we're going to be taking some questions from fans that were submitted on social media. For everyone watching, make sure that you follow @Fanatics on Instagram. Keep an eye out for their stories and different ways that you can submit questions via social media for your favorite athletes. So we're going to kick off the social media questions with Kelly.
Hi, Justin. This is Kelly from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Go Ravens. I want to know, would you ever go on The Masked Singer?
Would I go on The Masked Singer? I'm actually sitting here. My agent is behind the camera right now, and he's nodding his head like, yeah, I think we could work out a deal. Hey, so who knows? We'll have to see. I'll leave the door open there.
So to be determined. All right, we'll keep an eye out for that. Next up, it's David.
Hey, Justin. My name is David Beach from Greensboro, North Carolina. Big fan. My question is, who was the NFL player you admired most as a kid? Thank you for everything you've done for our team and our franchise. Go Ravens.
I love it. I love that these first couple folks are rocking their JT9 jerseys. So thank you for that. Much love. The player I looked up to most growing up was probably Adam Vinatieri. And I would still say to this day, like he had the greatest career that any kicker that's ever played the game has ever had. He's made the biggest kicks. He made big kicks time and time again. You could tell from afar, like he was the type of dude who knew how to put in the work to make himself great. So ever since I was 14 or 15 and I started, kicking footballs a little bit more seriously, I always looked up to Adam, and I still do to this day.
Very cool. Next up, it's Kevin, who's also a FanCash Rewards card holder.
Hey, Justin. How are you? I'm Kevin, and right now I'm in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, originally from Maryland, the DMV area. I'm an ex-military. I'm retired here now, and I'm a FanCash card holder as well. And I have a question for you. When you made that 66-yard field goal, what's the emotion? Because I saw you, but I want like the inside. What's that emotion? I want to hear it from you. Thank you.
I love it. That's a great question. So there's a lot to unpack in that one game. So for me personally, I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of kicks, make a lot of big kicks, and just make a lot along the way. But the ones that stick out to me, they always find a way of doing so, is the ones that get away from me. Every once in a while when I miss one, I fixate on that, and I know I shouldn't. I know I should just try to move on to the next kick and taking one kick at a time and all that stuff. And a lot of times it's easier said than done. So in that game, in the first quarter, I pushed a 49-yarder from the right hash, just wide of the right upright. So as the game is playing out and the fourth quarter is underway. I'm doing I'm doing all the math and looking at the scoreboard, and I'm thinking, okay, well, we just stopped them. We held them to a field goal. We've got about a minute left, and we're down by 2. I left 3 out there early in the game. This is all my fault. All right. So I'm trying to figure out, in my mind, like, what can I do to make up for this? Oh yeah, I can just go ahead and make this 66-yard field goal, and then everyone will forget about the 49-yarder that I missed earlier in the game. Which kind of did happen. But there's so much that, led up to that 66-yarder that for me made it just that much more, much more of a special moment. The fact that we got the stop on defense, held them to a field goal to give us a chance to, win the game on it ended up having to be a 66-yarder, but, the defense gave our offense a chance. And then our offense, getting, backtracked on the first 3 plays of that series, and then converting a 4th and 19 to get us just across midfield, to give us a chance to, either throw a Hail Mary or kick the ball at the end of the game was huge. I've said it before, the only thing you can do when you're actually out there on the field that will serve you well, that will actually help you make the kick, is to focus on just the things that are important. And that for me, it's seeing the ball snapped, picking out the sweet spot on the ball, matching up the big bone on my foot, on the top of my foot, to that sweet spot on the ball, and just striking as firmly as I can, like right in that sweet spot of the ball. Thinking of the action and not the consequence, as I've said before. So as soon as the ball left my foot, I knew it was going to have a chance. But from 66 yards away, I was gonna need a little divine intervention, or just something to help that ball bounce off the crossbar the right way into the net, and result in 3 points and us winning the game. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So the ball's about halfway there. I'm thinking it's got a chance. Hits the crossbar. I see one of our kind of equipment guys behind the uprights, and he's the first one to go like this, and that's when I think we all knew, oh my gosh, we just won. First of all, we won the game. That was the most exciting thing. And then I kind of realized all at the same time, oh, that was a 66-yarder we just made. We just set the NFL record. So that's awesome. A lot of emotion. The most rewarding part is, like running down the field and then seeing my teammates running from the sideline and running down the field from blocking moments prior, and seeing the smiles on everyone's faces. It's the most exhilarating, rewarding part about playing this game.
That's incredible insight into those moments. Thank you for sharing that. And Kevin, thank you for your service. He mentioned he was in the military. We're going to wrap up our round of social media questions with Dave, who is also a FanCash Rewards card holder.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Dave Stankich from Manassas, Virginia, and I'm a FanCash Rewards card holder. Do you think you can kick a 70-yarder? Thanks.
On that particular September day in Detroit, I had 66 yards in me, and I think that was abundantly clear just how the ball barely bounced off the crossbar and through. But I do believe I have the ability to make a field goal from farther away, from 70 yards. Absolutely. Now, does a lot of stuff have to go exactly right to get that opportunity to have the ball travel far enough to make a 70-yard kick? Like everything has to go absolutely right. You have to have 12 o'clock laces from the snapper. You want to have the ball spotted quickly. The ball's got to leave my foot in 1.3 seconds from the time it was snapped. Everybody's got to block up front for those 1.3 seconds and make sure the ball can get up and out cleanly. You might need a little tailwind, good field conditions, good weather. But the long story less long, I think it's absolutely possible. I think there's a handful of guys out there that have the ability to do it. I'd like to think I'm one of them. But it's got to be kind of like a perfect storm. It's got to be right place, right time. opportunity presents itself at the end of the half, or more likely the end of the game. And then, all those other things have to come together just right to connect from, I would say not just 70 yards away, but like anytime you're, 55, 60 plus away, everything's got to go right to make the kick.
Well, I think if there's anybody that can do it, it is you. We're going to wrap things up with a fun round of rapid fire questions. But before we get to that, we do want to hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Introducing the FanCash Rewards Credit Card by Fanatics. Earn 6% FanCash when you shop with your card on Fanatics.com with exclusive cardholder perks and 6-month special financing on purchases of $150 or more. Text now to apply or go to Fanatics.com.
Today's show is brought to you by the FanCash Rewards Card by Fanatics. For more information on the exclusive perks and benefits that you will receive from being a cardholder, head to Fanatics.com or text FAN events to that number below on the screen, 94323 to apply now. All right, let's welcome Justin back in and have some fun. Wrap this up with a little rapid fire round of questions. First up, favorite musical?
Favorite musical, Hamilton. Easy.
That's a very, very popular one. I had a feeling that might be the choice. Most impressive thing you can cook on the grill?
I don't know if it's impressive, but I do feel confident in my ability to make a good cheeseburger.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah. Like from grounding the meat up, you got to get like the right stuff, mixed into your patty. You don't want to go too crazy. You don't need too much, but you do need like a couple of things in there to really make the burgers pop. So yeah,
a couple of key ingredients.
Yeah. Like you gotta get like a little Worcester sauce. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but whatever. the couple of guys that were Patriots fans on here earlier, they could help us out with the pronunciation there. You got to get like some. I like some good old fashioned steakhouse seasoning. I don't think you can possibly put too much in there. Maybe some shallots. You got those guys nice and chopped up just to get a little extra, just a little texture to the burger patty. Got to go with like a mix of cheeses. I like cheddar cheese with maybe like a pepper jack. I like to load up that burger with just all sorts of deliciousness. So maybe like a fried egg. Maybe some avocado, maybe some bacon, like just some simple stuff like that. I think,
and I
do a decent job with it.
I totally want a cheeseburger for dinner now. Favorite thing about being a dad?
My favorite thing about being a dad, I don't know if I could pick just one thing right off the bat, but what I can say is really recently, my son Easton has so he's in kindergarten now, and a lot of the kids he plays with at school, like during recess or lunchtime or whatever, they love to just like toss a football around, or like they love to shoot hoops, and he's gotten like really good at just throwing and catching. So now when I love to just play with him, like whatever it may be, so like for the longest time it was like, oh, let's build stuff with magnetiles, like, and I love building. Or like we don't have Lincoln Logs. Like somebody mentioned Lincoln Logs the other day. Like what a sick gift idea. Like to throw it back with the Lincoln Logs. What? But no, he's gotten really good at like throwing and catching. So for the longest time it was, oh, let's play magnetiles or let's read some books, and we still do that. But now he's like, Dad, let's go out into the driveway or to the backyard and let's play catch. And he's starting to try to one-hand it like Odell, and He's been working on his sidearm to throw like Lamar or Patrick Mahomes. So it's that's probably one of the coolest things is one of the coolest things about being a dad is just all of those day-to-day little things. And then I would say more recently, like he's now understanding the games, the football games that I'm playing in, way better than when he was, like a little blob when he was 1. And he's come to a couple of games now, and I've got to wave at him in the stands, and he waves back. He's got the big smile on his face, and that stuff's awesome.
That's good stuff. Go-to karaoke song off the top of your head.
Journey, Don't Stop Believing, or
excellent,
or Jumper, Third Eye Blind.
I can appreciate that. What is the ultimate superior Thanksgiving dish? What has to be on the Thanksgiving table?
For me, it's got to be mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes, buttery, just covered in gravy, salty, garlicky. Any version of mashed potatoes to me is the mashed potatoes are the goat of Thanksgiving dishes.
Not counting calories on Thanksgiving. What's got to go? What Thanksgiving dish has to go?
Do I have to pick one? I feel like I would say green beans. If my plate is just orange, like it's all carbs, I'm fine with it on Thanksgiving. Otherwise, if it's a normal day, you gotta throw in some greens in there. Like, I would not throw out green bean casserole. Green bean casserole is it's a dark horse for me. I actually really like green bean casserole.
All right. I can work with that. Sign us off with your best dad joke. You said you appreciated dad humor. What's your best dad joke?
I should have many of these just ready to go. I've got one. How does the ocean say hello?
How?
It waves.
Oh, I should have known. I should have seen that one coming from a mile away.
I got one more. I just thought of it. All right. Two muffins are baking in an oven. All right. One muffin says to the other muffin, "Oh my gosh, it's really hot in here." And the other muffin says, "Oh my God, a talking muffin."
We're not going to top that. Well done.
Didn't think so.
Justin, thank you so much for your time. You've been so generous with it, so gracious with your answers, and we just really appreciate it. It's been such a blast to get to know you better, and certainly just thank you for everything.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Jess, for having me. Appreciate it.
So great having Justin Tucker. What a guy. We hope that you enjoyed this edition of Fanatics Live. Do want to remind you that we have an awesome show coming up tomorrow. We're going to join John Tavares of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we're going to hear all about his foundation, the different ways that he's being supported in his efforts through the NHL auctions, also supporting the cause. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for John Tavares. You can also follow along on Fanatics on different social media platforms, including Instagram. That's how you're going to be able to submit those questions. And if you want to watch shows from the past, be sure to go to fanatics.com/live. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Fanatics Live. We'll see you next time.